Hi, the oyster aquaculture in China in general, and particularly in Hong Kong and southern China, facing two major challenges at this moment. The one is climate change. So the number two is the overcrowding of aquaculture, oyster aquaculture in their traditional aquaculture site. So there is big, huge demand. So the growers putting lots of oysters in their traditional aquaculture area, they don't have much food because it's too crowded. Then the growers trying to push these oysters into their unfavorable environmental conditions, like more salty areas, that's more closer to the coastal areas. Clean water, but high salt. Oysters don't like it. So the high salt is giving another stress. So climate change stress, overcrowding stress, and then this high salt stress. So now what we have to do, find a way to mitigate all these stresses for oysters. So we are trying to breed a high stress tolerant oysters that we call Hong Kong oysters to mitigate these issues and help growers in this area. And we did a lot of innovation. It's not going to be easy for selecting a highly stress-tolerant broodstock. So we have found an SLP chip that's quite innovative in this hatchery. And we use the chip to identify stress-tolerant parents. We bring them here and then we breed those high stress-tolerant strains. So that's why we have developed this unique facility to innovate new ideas and speed up the selective breeding process in this hatchery facility. Though the hatchery is very tiny, just 2,000 square feet area, but we have developed a new method called a high density recirculating hatchery facility here. So using this innovative facility method, we can produce 24 million seeds in a given season. We have a typical laboratory for testing the broods and broodstocks and developing other innovative methods for selecting those broodstocks and modifying their genome a bit to make them sterile, because we don't want actively reproducing seeds or adults in nature. We want them to be just producing meat. That's called a triploid technology. We need a lot of food for the baby oysters as well as the adult oysters. And the food has to be healthy food. Only if you feed a healthy food to the baby oysters, then you can expect a highly strong, good, healthy baby oysters. So we have a variety of food for them. The baby oysters in the beginning, they eat one algae called isochrysis, very tiny, high in lipid content, particularly omega-3 rich food that we have. You see here is called a golden yellow algae. And then once the larvae become bigger, then we feed them with a different nutrient content algae. Also we have that, and then we have a green algae. So we have green, brown, golden, yellowish algae. The hatchery seeds are expected to be having a very high success rate compared to the wild seeds because they have been well protected and they have been fed very well with high quality food. So they are supposed to have a high tolerance to survive in the nature. And this is true. So in the hatchery produced seed, I would say is at least 60% survival rate to become adult compared to the wild. So it's quite, that's the way it goes. And so we have a partnership with those industries as well, like Lee. So, and many other researchers in the entire mainland and including Hong Kong and other areas. So we bring all these stakeholders together and we are forming an alliance. It is called the Oyster Aquaculture Alliance for One Health. We formed this alliance where all these stakeholders come and meet in Hong Kong once in a while and develop guidelines for the government to implement and growers to follow and industry to support. So I hope this One Health Alliance for Oyster Aquaculture, we call it OAA, will be very successful, and Hong Kong leading this very important alliance at this critical time to tackle the challenges that this industry is facing because of the climate change and because of the overproduction.